Hey, what's going on, everybody? You know, I usually come on here talking about business, talking about an opportunity, but in the last few days, I've heard a couple people talking about domestic discipline. And I've even seen some YouTube videos going out, domestic discipline. Hey, if you guys Google domestic discipline, I want you to do that. Before you take any stance on it, Google domestic discipline, because it's crazy how things online can just, I read The Hype Machine, a book that I think everybody should read on how people find stuff out. But let me give you the definition of domestic discipline, and I'm going to give you the short definition. Domestic discipline is the practice between two consenting life partners in which the head of the household takes the necessary measures to achieve a healthy relationship dynamic. So what that sounds like to me is, in a relationship, it's never 50-50. Somebody is, above in a situation, somebody else is going to follow. And in domestic discipline, the person who is above is taking the reins. And what I saw when I was doing my research, I even saw that this was targeted even towards Christians, even towards maybe that old school, the man is the head of the household, even though I did see that there were some women who were spanking men. And then it went deeper when I was doing, a little bit of research of, it's taking a person and giving them a spanking and them almost telling you that, and maybe I'll use this as a cover on the YouTube or the Facebook or whatever, but that person then, scolding that person and getting them right like they were a child. Now, I don't know what type of kink y'all are into, because some folks may be into that, but in the way that it has been said to me in the last 72 hours by various people, some of y'all are going to go to jail for domestic discipline, because you think that you're going to be able to take charge and then make this person who may not be a sub, that's a submissive for those who don't know, and try to turn them into something they're not. And you kind of need to know what your partner is beforehand, because there are some people, men and women, who they like someone to take charge. That's why you have dominatrix and all these other things out there. But the domestic discipline, let me tell you something. If it's not two consenting adults and understanding the dynamic in the relationship, when 911, someone call 911, Wyclef style, someone call 911, you are going directly to jail for putting your hands on somebody. I don't know where you guys get these ideas online from, people who aren't in a relationship telling you how to handle a relationship. I have seen many relationships in this COVID time, and I'm somebody who has connected for couples and they've married. I call myself a semi-pro date doctor. If you ever listen to Diversified Game, sometimes I throw that in there. But I've seen people taking bad online advice from single people, the same way in like the 90s, 80s and 90s, how people would say Oprah said, and then they find out why they were single, on the women's side, or the men would say Howard Stern said, and then you find out, oh man, dude is single. Like, y'all got to get your advice from people where you want to be. And I don't mean just in a physical appearance, because life is so much more than physical, but I mean emotionally, spiritually. Do you want to be like someone who kept their family together, stayed in relationships no matter what? Because relationships can have their ups and downs and be difficult, and they can be very easy too, especially when you need somebody in the hospital or to come bail you out. hey, that's when life gets real, because you might get pulled over for anything and need somebody who will come and go to the bank and has access to your bank account. That's what you should be looking for more in a partner. Someone who's going to stand by you when you're having surgery and hold your hand, than somebody you're going to have to treat like a child. Like, everybody has their thing. I know some men especially are so broken that they feel like if they're not the boss at home, they've never been the boss, or just becoming a boss, then you get into the high value man, which I think all of y'all are high value because God made you, but you might not know your value. But you're getting, we call you new money. You're getting some new money, and so now you're getting some new self-esteem. And money and alcohol only make you more of a person than you really are, or that you aspire to be. I just don't get it. Because items and clothes and things like that shouldn't make you. Really, they could break you, but they shouldn't make you. Like, back in the day, whoever had the most toys on the playground, that was the cool one. Didn't matter what they looked like. Hey, you got the toys, cool. And maybe I was that one who had the toys. Like, y'all come play with my toys. And I still feel like that as an adult. Like, you can play at my castle. I don't have to go to yours. Like, why would I step down, right? To, step out. Come to my court and play. This is the hottest court on the, no matter what game you want to play, from basketball to volleyball to racquetball to tetherball, right? But domestic discipline is going to get you in trouble. Unless your partner is into that. And again, if that's your relationship, that's cool. But you guys listen to people how to get rich from people who can only show you cars, who can only show you flashy clothes and jewelry. Stop listening to people who can have to wear their wealth, because that's not wealth. That's just stuff. And guess what? In 10 years, that stuff, they probably won't have it, or it'll be so out of style. You guys have seen the old, Mac movies. Man had the platforms with the, fish in it. If you ever seen I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. And it's like, you that's not hip right now. Maybe right now that could come back given the state of men. And what is manhood, and people trying to redefine it. But for me, that those scriptures define it quite well. And I like the men that I saw growing up being men, and I didn't see them doing domestic discipline, and that's abuse. And I have worked in fields where I know domestic abuse on both sides is real, and I've had a real life. Nothing to make you say, ooh, ah. But yeah, domestic abuse happens all the time on both sides. I've actually been called to homes many a times for that, and seeing if we're going to have to, take the kids and separate them. Those are the things that you should be thinking about if you're thinking about domestic discipline as an option, because that might be your future. And you may want to, say, I don't need to do domestic discipline because I can talk. And if this person can't, respect me enough to listen to me, maybe that's not the person that I'm with. Because I think a lot of guys, too, I'm speaking for men, get some money and then start acting like you PIMP, and you don't even know the 16th letter. You don't understand that, what you aspire to be from the TV shows that you're watching or the music you're listening to, like, that ain't nothing to aspire to. And if you're over 20, you're already too late. The game is not in you. So be a square, you know what I mean? And stay a square, because that's what you are. You didn't get off the porch and do anything, drastic when you were young, when, people really get their stripes. Just be happy to be a square, be a L7, it's cool. You will probably live longer, right? So I'd love to talk to y'all all day, but I see my kids want to get into their snacks, and I'm going to have to run over there. And so y'all going to eat up all your Capri Suns so you won't have any for lunch? But, yeah, that's just where I was going with it. I wanted to save somebody a night in jail And it could be men, it could be women, because there are some women who now are, they're harder than the men, and they not taking no mess, and they know how to throw them fifth ward beads. They know how to throw those hands. I have daughters, they know jiu-jitsu. They choke out grown people. Man, that's stuff that we practice. But domestic discipline, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, no matter what platform you catch this on, because to me, that's lame. To me, that's not the game. To me, that's not adulthood. And again, if you're over 20, you're not in the game if you weren't already in the game. And if you're over 30 and over 35 and 40, it's like, what are you really talking about? Like, that's lame. And you are lame. You're lame. Like, and you can talk to a lot of people, but that doesn't mean that what you're saying is smart. You can talk to a big audience, but honestly, when you go around the world and you see how dumb, especially in America, people are in geography and history, just how to do life, there's a reason why most people are one check away from, being broke, because you study everything else except how to make some money. And you'll worry about what someone like myself is wearing and say, oh, what is he wearing? More than you're worried about the message of trying to save you from jail time. Like, this is really what your daddy should have told you. And I understand if you didn't have one, but I was talking to the Great Black Shark today. You check out his YouTube and Instagram. And I talk to men all the time about this who get it, like what manhood is. Like, to have to try to bully a woman means you don't need to have a woman. Straight up. To have to try to, I have to be the boss and show everyone I'm the boss in my house, really, you probably, relationships might not be for you. That might not be for you. And the reason why, as a, again, semi-pro date doctor, I'm good at that is, one, I'm nosy, two, being able to read people, and three, being able to know that the grass is always greener on the other side. So to take somebody from the opposite and bring them here. So, and bring them there, you could bring people, Americans, over to Italy, over to Africa, and they connect because it's new. And a lot of you just haven't had new experiences. You're not getting experience, and your experience is domestic. Back in the day when we would do music and we would push music and people would say, okay, we're going to have a contest. But then you guys might have seen it. Let me put it where you can really understand it. Queen Latifah was in a movie and they're like, you're local. And like, local? And that's a real thing. Like, you're local talent. A lot of folks are local talent. A lot of folks, you buy a trip to Jamaica, but you stay on the resort. And then you take the resort's taxi cab. You don't get off and really get the vibe of Jamaica. So you've been to the resort in Mobay. You've been to the resort in, Negril, but you haven't touched the people. You didn't order any fish on the side of the road. You didn't cook any fish on the side of the road. Your experiences are limited, and then usually you're attracted to limited people because anybody who has true experience, you're scared. Like, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know. But I'm telling you, I know greatness is in you. You just got to pull it out and be fearless. Because the same way you're fearless, when you're riding a motorcycle, jumping out of a plane, at the club, and you go home with someone you don't know, not knowing if they're going to be a serial killer or not, or, get your ID just so while you're at their house, they can rob yours with their crew. Like, I mean, the scenarios are endless. So listen to people you want to be like and sound like they know how to do life. And do it safely without all the nonsense. Because that domestic discipline, are you leading with your wallet? I'm hearing influencers say how much money they have. You're lame. You got to say how much money. Are you leading with your wallet? Why are you telling people that knowing that you don't even have a team around you that you pay? Why are you telling people that when you don't even, support the local nonprofit in your area? That's lame. It's not hip. Like, you're around other lames, so it sounds cool. You're getting views because maybe you're, just in that algorithm, or you are paying for views, something that many people spend thousands of dollars doing to look cool in front of people that they don't even know. I know influencers who pay for their views and their subs. They'll pay thousands and thousands of dollars just so others will say, oh, they're growing, they're cool. Like, it's really, I mention this a lot in Diversified Game. It's Black Mirror Season 3, Episode 1. Shout out to Tyson Moultrie for putting me on that years ago, and that's the times that we're living in. But stop listening to lames. Turn that around. That's one thing you can stop being a lame. You can stop being a lemon lame by stop doing stuff that lames do. That's my take on it. Hopefully you stay out of a jail cell because you're not practicing domestic discipline, unless that's your kink in a consenting, life partners where you understand each other, because this game is real, man, and people can be healed as easily as they can get killed. But y'all be blessed out there.
Are you tired of the violence, tired of the injustice, police brutality, rampant discrimination, lack of gun control in this failed socioeconomic experiment called America? Or maybe you need a break from the relentless grind and want to regain control of your destiny, your wealth, your health, and your purpose. DiversifiedGame.com has the right course for you. Prepare for my first trip to Africa. Looking to reconnect with your roots, start a new business, or just a fresh start. Africa, aka the motherland, is waiting. Don't let the Chinese and the Mzungus have the fun and also take over the motherland. From Cairo to Mombasa, from Dakar to Cape Town, Africa has something for everyone, from business opportunities to the most amazing people, safety, leisure, and landscapes. The opportunities abound. It is time for the diaspora to reconnect with their roots. Time to reconnect with the birthplace of humanity. Africa is the last frontier. Get your head in the game and reclaim your legacy. The writing is on the wall. Babylon is falling. Give up the stress, grind, and violence inflicted on our people on this continent, and prepare for a journey of restoration and joy by connecting with the land of your ancestors. Check out our new course and kick off your adventure at diversifiedgame.com.